So I know there were new captains that dropped yesterday, and we'll look over them before we sort of talk about this. But I wanted to I saw somebody else do it, so I figured, hey, let's jump on it, talk about it. What I want to see in MLB The Show 25. Now, this might be an ever-evolving thing because we're only in December, but I figure we'll have information a little bit later in December, hopefully. All that, but I do want to start talking about, and we can use the captains. The captains are something we're going to talk about in this video, so I'm going to go through sort of everything and kind of go from there, and hopefully see and feel and breathe and make the game better for everyone involved, including everyone at home, hopefully. Starting off here is Captain Blizzard drop number 2. In this one, you get the captain. Blue Brock for the award series. He's got max contours left and 79 power, then 90 contact and 68 power versus left. His captain boost at max is 15 contact versus left, 10 power versus strike, 10 speed, and 15 walk per 9 to all action figure series players. Action figure series is pretty loaded, so this could be good, pretty good, I think. And then you get a Captain 2 series pack. So I think the best fight out of here right now is going to be Jackie Robinson. By the way, his price dropped drastically, so not too bad. And so his with Carbon Carroll is just absolutely outrageous. So that could still be fun. I picked up Justin Verlander. I really like him, especially with the out of position guys. He gets the boost as well. But it all kind of just depends on what you want. The Texas one, I know people have said this is a fun card too. So this could also be kind of fun. But I would say the best one right now is Jackie. And all these prizes are pretty cheap if you want to run some of these other teams. So again, sort of go with what you think, but that's there. Now, this Negro League captain, the Hilton Smith, I want to talk about because I found this out the hard way before we get into everything else. Curveball, forcing, changeup, sinker, slider, no quirks. His captain boost is plus 15. And by the way, there are his attributes. His hitting stats aren't great, but I want to bring this up as well because in a video I recorded earlier, I was building and trying to combine things. The Rube Foster cap boost is also starting pitcher, and he gives plus 35. So I probably wouldn't use the Hilton Smith one. Just use this guy. They're both starting pitchers. I don't know why they didn't. Rube's not. Listen, I don't know, man. I'm just stating the fact. But now that's out of the way. Let's talk about a wish list. Number 1. This is just going to be sort of off the cuff. I listened to somebody else talk about it, so I was like, hey, let's do this. The first thing I want to address is I want to talk about people saying that this game should only be on current gen, not previous gen. So Xbox Series S or X, PlayStation 5, PlayStation Pro. I don't necessarily know what the Switch. I'm kind of assuming the Switch is going to be off. I understand that it should be next gen only. We saw some other games kind of do it. I think NCAA 25 is strictly next current gen only. It's not on the older ones. This is just on the new ones. I believe NBA 2K might be as well. Might only be a current gen thing. Yeah, it's PC, PlayStation 5, Series S or S, I think. So I think we're entering the time where they're going to start whittling down the old consoles. I don't know. For the record, I understand. Let me start by saying this. I get it. I just got my PlayStation 5. Times be tough out there, and I understand. I am not one advocating. I have been actually against it, saying I don't agree with the statement that the game needs to strictly be next gen. Graphically, is it held back? Sure. If we want to make arguments for argument's sake and say the game needs to be next gen because of it's falling behind, we can have that argument till you're blue in the face. I don't think you're moving anyone. My whole thing is I think we shouldn't be removing the ability and access for people to play based on something out of the security. And I know people are like, well, the console's halfway through its cycle. That very well might be the case. But ultimately, I'm hard pressed to say it. I think at this point, if they wanted to separate it and give a graphical better game to the PS5 and Xbox S and X, that's fine. By the way, I do want to make this known that getting an Xbox Series S the cheaper version is pretty well done. We all know PlayStation's a little overblown, but those things, especially at the holidays, things could be dropping. I'm not trying to say it. I just wanted to address it. I'm not against it. If they were to make separate versions, I'm cool with it. I know the cord has to be cut eventually. I'm just addressing it. My stance has always been more people play, the better I am, but maybe we should put some guard fences so that we're not having weird graphical glitches with PS5 playing PS4. Okay? Okay. So let's talk about the game in of itself. One thing I would like to see is if we're going to do captains, I beg and I plead. I beg and plead that if we have to continue this captain thing, I beg and plead with you. We get more broader categories like 2000s hitters, David Ortiz versus team captains. And the reason why I say this is because I don't think team captains help elevate the thing, because not all teams are treated equal. Prime example, I think I still have them. I want to this is my thesis statement. This is the Angels. I want you to, this is every bullpen arm the Angels have. I want to puke at this one. Look, that is horrible. The team is okay-ish, I guess, but it's a lot of luck at the draw. Okay? Now let's play a fun game. We're going to do another one. We're going to do this right on the fly here. This is the Dodgers. They went to the World Series. Take a look at the Dodger bullpen. Mind you, that would be replaced with a 99 Kenley Jansen. But every card there is a flashback. Now, granted, they did go to the World Series. So they're going to have the most cards. But this is insane. Same with the Yankees. Same with the Mets. If we're going to do teams, I kind of wish they gave out more to help boost the team, because cards during the year are kind of just at random. So I think artificially, mind you, and I'm going to say, I don't think the Angels necessarily are getting shunned by any quivic of the imagination here, but it's just sort of like, can I get a little help back here by adding the guys? And this comes back to the lack of legends, I think, because there's just not a lot. I mean, hell, even the Red Sox sort of have this problem. I think they need to have more legends or more variety of cards or something. I don't necessarily know what. Or have broader captains where it's less like they're in an Angel uniform or on the Angel team, but they played for them. I don't know how to necessarily fix it, because it's moments in time. And that in of itself is a little funky. But I think if we could make captains a little better, like an AL West, like if you had an AL West captain, that might be a little better, because it would boost the AL West, like have division, each one gets a team in a division. I don't know, because then they get two. I kind of just, if they want to do captains, I want it to be fun, and I want there to be room to do things, right? Where there's not, it feels so like, you know, more every team looks like the Dodgers and less like the Angels, I guess. Like, look at here. Let's pick a random team. We'll just do this really quick. Let's take a look at a random team. Let's pick, I don't know. We'll just stop here. The Brewers. Sure, why the hell not? Brewers. Let's take a look at them. Brewers captain. Shoot, I backed out of it. Let's see. Do the Brewers have a decent team? I don't know. Let's find that together. Was the Brewers? Let me go back to them. Like, I think the Brewers might have a decent enough team, but I don't like. There's certain teams where it just feels like there's not a lot. Like, Willie's now a Giant. They don't even have a third. We don't have a third baseman for the what the how the hell? Okay, that I didn't expect. Like, it looks like the Brewers might. Well, hang on. Looks like the Brewers could be struggling here for a little bit here. I guess that's fun. Ryan Braun can be there. Right field. They don't even have a right fielder. God dang, dude, that is wild. That's fun. OEBRDH, let's be real. So it looks like the Brewers are kind of struggling here. So I assume the struggle is only going to get wackier and wonkier as we go along here. Let's see. Oh, that's true. You do have designated hitter CC. That could be fun. That's fun. But I mean, we're kind of struggling out here. We're keeping it at $150. I mean, we're struggling. Now let's take a look at the pitchers here. Do they even have? I don't think we can't even fill up a decent squad here. I don't even want to know what the bullpen's gonna look like. Oh boy, they have one diamond. See, this is what I'm talking about. I don't know. I think if we're gonna do captains, it needs to be broader. I digress, and I know I don't have them all. I just picked it at random, but captains would be good. Another thing I want, I sort of talked about it. I want more. Can we get more legends, please? For the love of, I don't know, for just more. I want. Look, I fully understand that not every team's the Red Sox. You know, I understand that like we're not necessarily the Yankees are the prime example because the Yankees have a lot of guys, right? Like they have legends out the wazoo because they have a lot of guys who played for them, and they kind of they had a lot, you know. There's a lot. Like the Rays, for instance, you sort of see the Rays are kind of limited, for the most part in terms of guys they can kind of use. Is flashbacks. It's always like a Willie Pena, Carlos Pena card. A lot of times, like there's not a lot of variety. Or at least I hope if they do stuff, there's a little bit more pop, a little more spice, a little more variety. Like Sean Green, he's more of a Blue Jay in this game than a Dodger, which is interesting. But more legends would be one just to help fill. And by the way, the Angels have the number 2 draft pick, so we're gonna have a really nice part next year in the draft series. Thank you very much. I'm so happy. G Fuel syrup. I'm just looking at some of the things. But yeah, like the Angels, you feel me? you kind of, I mean, the Angels have a fair amount because they have some good guys that played for them. But like, I think more legends are always helpful. Help fills the game out more versus not. Yes. The next big thing is just content in general. I think more content is better if you're sort of looking at the schedule here. It's mainly just captain drops. There's a new event my head's hiding. But other than that, that's really not a whole lot. I think there should just be the big proponent I have for this is if we're talking multiplayer modes. I kind of wish these are fine. BR events. I would add another one. This is just me. I think for events, I kind of like the idea of an offline event mode where you're constantly grinding. It might be 3 innings. And you play for packs that are drop rewards or something, kind of like how mobile games and other games do it. We're kind of just grinding events, and you get packs, you get promo cards. They could all be diamonds. You open the pack, you get one, and if you don't get it, you can keep trying. I think that's a good way to go about it. Maybe a weekendly, kind of like Madden does, where if you play a lot and you do well, you get stubs, you get cards. Just something there. And I think a kind of retooling for like mini seasons would be fun. Like again, I think more cards are always fun. I know there's cards in here for this one specifically. I think that just adding more would be fun, just so there's a way to get online players some more stuff, and of course sort of making things a little more cohesive so that one equals the other, etc., etc. Right? I don't necessarily think the game's in a poor state per se. I think a lot of it in terms of content just sort of needs, we need something spicy. I think Conquest, having more Conquests to give rewards is fine. Showdown, I could take or leave. Play versus CPU, whatever. But I do think the biggest thing is if you're going to put in like stuff like mini seasons to help, I think if you're going to make that the main sort of grinding for people, or that's sort of what it wants to be, make it maybe mirror ranked to a certain degree, where like you want the people to play it, so make the card worthwhile, because we sort of shadow drop the whole Jason Hayward thing here. Like, I played for Bob Feller. I kind of wish these were 99s. I think that would have been cool or interesting. Like, you do the extreme thing, hey, whatever, that's fine. Whatever, you take it or freaking leave that one. But I think there's plenty of stuff there, hypothetically, where I think the building blocks there, I think there just needs to be a little bit more to get people in. And I think short-term events are always fun because it makes things a little bit easier to get and more willing and more fun for the world involved. Overall, I think the base is there. I think they just need to do some things. Like I said, if they can get rid of captains for all I care, they can do a lot for all I care. That's just my thoughts. So to summarize this thing, let's go back to the full cam here. So to summarize, I think if they are going to split the series, upgrade one to leave the other. Like I said, more people play the game, the better. Number two, either divert captains to make them a little bit more smoother by adding more flashbacks, more legends, so that players who their favorite teams don't necessarily feel like you're having to do a 99 captain. Although I think 99 captains are fun, I just don't necessarily think that wait until the end so that these bad teams get more. I think spreading out the content, spreading out the flashback legends are also good. And finally, I think we need to revamp content, make offline and online more, give it a little bit more juice, a little bit more oomph to make it a little bit better, so this game can play even better in 2025. So let me know down below what's some stuff you guys are looking for in the new year for MLB The Show 25 and all that stuff. Let's have a conversation down below. I'm gonna try to do more of these videos and sort of talk about stuff because there's not a whole lot going on. I'll work on some new series as we get closer to the beginning of next year. Next week, I have some stuff from Twitch that I might put on the second channel, and I'll figure out what we're going to do here because I know the show's kind of waning down. I don't necessarily want to just do theme teams for the rest of the time because I think everyone's doing it, and it's sort of tiring. So that being said, my name is Specs. I'll see you guys all next one. Bye, guys.